Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Funky Marketing Podcast. Today we are moving on with Funky Marketing Top Voices, and I have a great pleasure to introduce to you Niko Slavnic. Overall, a great guy, somebody who has done so many things and still doing so many things. So, Niko, maybe you can, you're better fit to tell a little bit about all those things that you have done.
Oh, that how many days we have? Okay, hello. So probably there's so many things to share, but we have to start somewhere. Right? There are a few hats. Looks like I have a collection of hats, I like to say. Started actually in practice first, in theory after. That was driving me really with, I was marketing driven with design, with all the decisions that are pushing customers closer to sales. That was my first role that I was really working on. But in between, I think that marketing became quite digitalized. So I moved to the more creative part, also in entrepreneurship, opening my first incubator. Actually, January it's going to be 20 years since I opened private incubator, opening companies, investing in more than 15 companies last 20 years as a business angel and actually adding value to the companies that needed marketing, sales, and similar projects. So in this portfolio of companies, some of them died, some of them are successful, some of them are in between. And that was bringing a lot of experience that I start sharing with students on MBA programs in France, in Slovenia, in more than 30 countries actually so far, keynote speeches. And this is where I had to go back to the school, learn, finish my education, and still keep on learning from theory and practice onwards.
Kind of a combo, best of all worlds, I'd say, because you have started when digital wasn't here yet, then you had to change to move on to some other things, then from marketing you moved to entrepreneurship, to investments, and kind of how do they say, you've seen it all in a way, and you keep moving through that and sharing experience. I value that especially because here, like on Balkans, I see so many people that have knowledge, have experience, but not that many people are actually willing to share their learnings and help, like, for the ecosystem, for the community to grow. So let's go from the start. So how did you actually grow up? What it was like back then?
Thank you, Nemanja. That's my actually life drive. That you use the word, growth. Growth is still driving me today, no matter that I'm not growing physically, maybe when I have a good meal. But actually, in the beginning, it was pretty wild. I wasn't a big fan of school, so I was escaping already first day in first grade of school. So from the school, and this happened to be like in few schools. So changing 4 elementary schools, well, didn't help much to formal education. But what it helped me, it's actually to adapt to any situation, to new people, to learn how to fit my way, how to differentiate. I know that I was different already then, and I never wanted to be one of the same ones. So it was always looking how to find my way through the childhood and learn in let's say my perception important things to grow up and to keep growing with ideas.
Did you read a lot, or you were the one like playing games with the others on a way? Like, did you? In my case, I was on one side the one who is reading, who can play. We just need some toys and at least one toy, and I can play with myself. I don't need anybody else. But on the other hand, like, I was playing basketball and kind of hanging out with others, was a team captain at the time, so I kind of developed in different way. So what was like in your case?
I can see we have more things in common. I was also playing basketball, so that was one of the sports that I preferred after after martial arts, actually, in elementary school. So martial art first to be more safe, to feel more safe, let's say, judo and similar things. And books, yeah, definitely. I was every year taking all this competition for reading books and reading not only local but also international books, UK, but also finished this competition for books in Austria, in German language actually. And that was helping me to learn languages on one side, but also to learn about stories. I really like the storytelling already then, and I think this is quite important also for all the marketing that we are building up, that we find the right stories for our clients and for ourselves.
Yeah, I find it interesting too, especially growing up in Serbia in the 90s where we couldn't travel. So like books was a way for me to travel, see different worlds and all those kind of things. Yeah, I also had these awards for reading badges and all kind of things. But to add to your story, so it's kind of interesting. You didn't start as like Gary Vee and others were saying with lemon and stains. You started in a kitchen, actually your first job.
Yeah, that was experience. I was really bad in English at the beginning, so I wasn't learning. I didn't like the teacher, so I was preferring German at that time because German teacher was much better looking, so it was easier to learn. She was a student, and English was not my favorite. So I was luckily having uncle living in UK, so I was visiting him every summer since I finished. Yeah, at the end of elementary school, I already went there. And of course, I wanted to save some money, so I was looking, to get some summer work. What can I do? And actually, yeah, they offered me in one very popular Italian restaurant in the city. I asked actually, my uncle helped me actually, and I started working as assistant there. So this was driving me later actually in the many years after to work with famous female chefs and chefs, global number one also. And I'm still driven with art on plate, and many other things that are bringing creativity on with food and also sustainable trends. But at that time, it was just how to make some pocket money that I could buy books, that I could buy my first computer, that I could find nice places to go out, also in UK, and that was the early stage. So that was also improving my English on the side. Hopefully, it works also today. But luckily, I didn't pick up much of the accent because at that time the let's say Birmingham accent wasn't so. It's still not so recognizable in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how we get our knowledge from different places, and the places that we don't ever think that we can find specific things that can shape us as a person and as professionals. So how did you actually end up in marketing from that perspective, like starting there and learning from those things and actually finishing up in marketing?
Interesting. Yeah, I would change a lot of summer jobs. So there's opportunity at that time, since it was more working on the gray line, I'd say black market. I couldn't get into the offices, and then, it wasn't recognized in the early stage of secondary school. So I worked in renovation, construction, in gardening, in anything that I could find. But in that from early stage of college time, it was impossible to open a company. And that was the first time, Markovic time, I remember. And it was 1989. It was possible to open your own private company. So that was the first stage when my mom decided, okay, let's do something with UK. Since you speak English, and she was quite entrepreneurial. And my mom was looking for the name of the company, the logo. And I remember coming to her, I had like whole a notebook full of logos. What could be the logo, what could be the name, how to design it, how to approach, and she really liked it. So she picked up the name Waymaker at that time, and one of the logos. And we started with totally different business, not in the kitchen, of course, but it was OTC, over-the-counter drugs, selling Bach, Rescue Remedy, and some other, let's say, products that were possible to use marketing in the pharmacy. And that was really one of the first challenges. So home entrepreneurship driven, and my mom didn't speak well English, so I had to travel with her to all the meetings. So learning how to start a company with my mom at that time, and using English and using all the, let's say, practical knowledge on business and marketing that I could use there. I was quite early internet also adopter. I got my first computer when when it was 64K, let's say. At that time, using cassettes, a long time. Now you know how old I am. So in that time, we had to code ourselves. So that was the first languages, like from basic moving to Pascal and DBase3 and some other options that we used to find the basic digital tricks. But later also digital marketing came from that. And that was the first touch with marketing, I would say. That was driving me also to study on faculty marketing, like entrepreneurship, and creating this mix of entrepreneurial marketing spirit.
It's kind of interesting how much do we get from our parents. Like in my experience, it was a bit different. Like when we started with first with computers, with everything. Like my father was working in how do you say it in English? Like First May, the company, the huge company. It was over there. He was working in computer center, but like those were computer where they mostly play games and printed things. And it was interesting kind of to go over there and see what they're doing. Like I was only interested to play games because this is the only thing that they have shown me. But later on, like my father worked in a home of culture, in kind of like marketing, but in organizing events mostly. And he had few entrepreneurship like tries, I would call them like that. All of them failed because he was too good to the people, giving them free stuff and those kind of things. He never got that. So I learned from having a bad example in that way, like what are some things that I shouldn't do. And I ended up in marketing, not actually wanting to study marketing. And it was kind of like interesting. And generally, it's interesting how the life takes us.
Yeah, it's I mean, lifetime experience. It's shaping us mostly. I mean, it's experience that we want to build also, that we are creating for ourselves, and also that we want to create through marketing to all our clients. I mean, 5-star experience, not just 5-star hotel, but actually experience that whatever it is that you go all in with experience, not just touch the base on the top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, talking about experience, like, what are some tough moments that you experienced in the career? Was it more challenging when you have just started on there, when you like were developing companies, investing? Like, what are the moments when you felt like this was the toughest one, looking from this perspective now?
Yeah, thank you. That's always interesting question. I mean, how it started within an incubator that I created. We had quite interesting projects. Started with marketing first, supporting startups, doing all the marketing. I really wish that they have the packages ABC that they could pick up, and that was like 20 years ago, and take from business cards to web page and everything that they can kick off their start. And later this developed in different opportunities. I always had my eyes wide open to find opportunities, and that's maybe bringing to my life motto. That's, I don't ask myself why, I ask myself why not, and this is giving me a very different direction usually. Sometimes in the right way, so there's wrong way, but it's definitely different. And I started actually investing quite early also in some startups, and all was connected. First, starting companies with friends. We created a contact lenses company. We went to US. We saw what's happening there. We saw what's missing in the Balkan countries at that time, and I said, okay, let's open the contact lenses company. Or we opened a city guides company. We brought anti-hangover pills from Russia. I was traveling a lot. I visited more than 70 countries, and anywhere I went, my mother always said, it's better to bring a product than girlfriend, always. So I was first time bringing more girlfriends from these countries. And then I said, no, it's easier if I just bring products and ideas to build the business. So I built from Baltic countries, I brought in your pocket city guides. Yeah, I mentioned before, Russia was Antipahngin, that we transferred to the brand RU21. And from Estonia, Sentinel, from Slovenia, OptiPrint, from Hungary, we built it on the farm of turkeys. We built a company in Germany with associate building the tech support for the companies. I had company in Luxembourg, actually in Liechtenstein was the company that I called Teletip. We bought from RTL all the media rights for the Eastern Europe. And then Datafy, so working more closer to the companies, the Slovenia. eHub was on the border of Slovenia and Italy, so invested in bicycles that even Armstrong was using. But that was at the beginning good thing and later even bad thing. So just some of the wide portfolio of the companies. Many of them failed. And this failure, it's actually the learning process. How passionate, I really fall in love with ideas. Now, when I listen to these startups, for me, it's like, wow, I fall in love with idea. That's such a great idea. And after you dig later, after you dig in this, what's behind, how do they deliver? This is many times you see the difference between just facade, what people are talking. It's pretty easy to talk the talk, but can they really walk the walk? And I can say in the last 20 years, startups and students mostly really improve the pitch. So the pitch, how they pitch and how to get the money, it's so easy. It's I would say that the small amounts of money, also in Serbia, it's getting there, but in region, for Bulgaria, Croatia, Slovenia, Hungary, there's so much money and there's so many enthusiastic young entrepreneurs, but also some of them are just entrepreneurs. It's nice to be CEO of your own company. And these failures was driving me to learn, how we missed the market, how we didn't listen enough, how we didn't listen enough to the potential customers, how we didn't go out of the building enough because we were focusing too much on the product. It was also learning about managerial, entrepreneurial stuff, how to lead people, how to do these mistakes cheaper, how to fail cheaper, how to do mistakes faster, and to learn from them. I hopefully don't repeat too many same mistakes, but every time I learn, there are some other mistakes that I could find out. Well, that's all the drive that you say at the end. Hell yeah, we made it.
Yes, it sounds easy when you just go over that in a couple of minutes, but there's so much to uncover, and I'm sure we will do another episode and just uncover a few of those examples and go even deeper. But I have a question relating to your experience with startups and companies that are just starting, and this is the question kind of that goes on and off. When is the right time for the company, for the startup to invest in marketing? Is it from the start? Is it a bit later? What are your experiences and what would you advise?
If you take the case, for example, of I would say of crowdfunding and crowdsourcing, it's giving you actually the picture how important marketing is, because most of the products that we see there are not products yet. It's just a wrap made by marketing. So marketing is stronger than whole production company, everything behind, because just the cases I'm following now, 2 cases that are coming from Slovenia, one birdhouse and one coffee making machine. It's they collected more than 1 million, and the second one respectively 500,000 in first week or 2, and that's all about the marketing. They don't have the product yet. The product will come in a year or more, but marketing is there. So testing the market, preparing the market even before the launch. So what we see, it's marketing is way more important than the product. If you're marketing driven and raising money driven, you will get much faster to the progress and fast forward than focusing your product, especially if you work with the IT guys. IT guys, everything is in beta. It's always beta. You'll never be finished. If you give them money, they will. This beta is infinity. They will never end. Because you give them enough money to do what they like. They like to code. And what's missing in these startups, usually you have a group of people that are, for example, coming from, I wouldn't say even business school, like economists, that are starting a startup, sky's the limit, all the strong marketing tools, but they don't have a product. So they build too much on just fluff, let's say. And then you have people with industrial experience coming from computer sciences or any other science, life sciences that they can learn, medical, and they're too much product driven. So they love to innovate, but they hate these people talking about fluff and marketing and things. They just want to make a best product ever because customer will recognize how great this product is. Customer don't give a shit. Customer don't even know about it. And I still get, every year I check around, I would say around 200 to 300 pages. So some of them live, some of them I get by mail, plus on the top from my MBA students. And I can tell you there's still people looking for, I'm going to make the next Facebook. I'm totally driven, but it's not enough, just that you believe. You have to get to the first customers out of your family and friends, and test. Go to the building and see how it works. It's really, this is the key. I really like Nemanja that you mentioned last time, or somebody mentioned, I think it's you, how to use even the text that people are sending, for example, on LinkedIn or emails or cold emails. Go to the shop and test it. You will see, is this working or not? And it's the same with the entrepreneurs. They really forget about their brands, about the marketing, about the customers. They focus on their own problems and products, and that's also a way to fail.
Yeah, totally. Like, just these days, I was talking with a lot of startups from agri-tech companies, and like, so I'm somebody who is new in the field, and I was listening to it was actually those initial pitches before they enter the mentorship programs, and like I didn't understand a word about what is the value they are giving. The only thing that they were talking about was the company, the features, the product, and like I was, whoa, there's so much work here to be done. So a farmer can actually understand what they are doing, because like, what's in it for me? You can talk about drones, you can talk about technology, everything, but in the end, it's what's in it, what's there for me.
Yeah, and luckily I have small kids, so you can always test your pitch with some 7-year-old kids. If they don't understand it, go back to work. You have to create a pitch that 7-year-old kid can understand what you're talking about, because it's not about complication how you're going to produce the product, but how the customers will simply have to take a very short moment of their life to even recognize it, and then to create the need and create demand, for them. And this is the best to test with kids. I had last week, I had 5-minute pitches they were presenting, and I said, most of them were horrible. And I said, go back to the drawing board and do the 1-minute pitch. When you can squeeze everything in 1 minute, okay, then start creating 4-minute presentation and put, the start in the middle, in the end, it's missing. Don't just extend, but do all the hooks that are needed at the beginning, do the marketing, to your pitch. This is missing because everybody is just trying to explain everything. So marketing and pitch is missing and can help.
I'm always using the example when I'm like helping people start working on their personal brand or company, whatever it is. Like I'm telling them, like, use Google Doc or list in your notebook and just start and write everything that you think is important about you, if it's like personal profile or a company. and then narrow it down to one page. Then narrow it down to the half of the page. When it's half of the page, you have LinkedIn about us. Then narrow it down to 140. Now it's like 280 characters. Now you have the description for Twitter also. And this is when you actually have the core of the message, when you can actually tell it with 280 characters. And it's interesting, like that's why I was early on Twitter, because it taught me so many people, like especially here in Balkans, like going to Twitter, talking about all kind of different things. But if it can help you actually narrow down what you're saying and get to the core of things, not just going on and off and talking about things that are not important.
And Nemanja, that's actually interesting drive. You know, me and you are still text generation. You know, so we still write in a way. No matter that it's harder and harder to write by hand sometimes. You just read keyboards. But if you put this in minutes, you know, in video today or audio, you can see actually how short you have to be if you want to put it in TikTok or stories, you know, or Instagram, you know, reel, that you can communicate with even much fewer words what you would like to express.
Exactly. So talking about these good and bad examples and what we can do, like what would you emphasize as some of the bad examples of marketing? Because like in funky marketing, we like to like have this goal of bringing marketing back where it belongs, where like we have people who respect ethics, companies respect ethics, that it's customers first, and two-way communication. So I'm sure you're seeing a lot of interesting things. So let's share a few.
Yeah, of course. And there are two things I would put here. One is that you already put in the list. You know, there's what you call bullshit. You know, there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of things that people try to make money off. I mean, I was reading last time. There's millions of books coming out from just the business industry every year, and most of the people, you know, don't read it in a way. So there's a lot of people that would like to make a career with creating. Creating actually the marketing definitions or theories or communication that is just noise in a way. And I tried also with marketing agencies many times, you know, are they ready to put the money where the mouth is? You know, how much you're ready to take your risk, you know, to share the risk with the client, you know. So this is about managing expectations, and a lot of especially corporations are managing the company, and you have marketing managers in a way that are great people. Many times they know a lot of things, but it's a lot of me too, because of managerial system organization. They have to repeat something that others are doing. So you're looking at your left, you're looking on your right, and you have to repeat it if you don't have it. So this me too is not driving you in the right direction. It's just making a clone. And it's, yes, you have it, but you're losing your differentiation, your edge that you should build with the marketing. So more that you become plain vanilla, let's say, more you're losing taste of yourself, of your brand, and talk is always cheap. You know, even if you wrap it up in the nicest box, you know, you still have to walk the walk. You still have to deliver, and delivering for me, it's all about adding value. How can we add value to our clients, to their lives, to customers, and also to investments? When I talk with startups, you know, many times there are great opportunities, but if I cannot add value to them, it's waste of the money, let's say, to invest, even if it's a good opportunity. But I see that my time, it's more important than just the money that I put before.
I totally agree. Like these things connected to the message market feed and all those things. Like I was talking with Peplaya the other day, especially now that they are developing it's not copy testing now, it's called Winter, but it's a company that can help you create better message market feed, and we talk about it a lot. And it's kind of we gave some really nice examples saying how do you not be a vanilla company. And you kind of reminded me of a situation where, like, I have a friend who is a developer and was working in Michelin in Tiger Tires in my hometown.
Oh, I
And
thought it was a restaurant Michelin. Okay.
no. He was actually the one from the IT department that was going to the. It's not a board meeting, but it's meeting of marketing and those team leaders. And basically, they were creating meetings to not agree and to agree to create another meeting, and then on and on. And he, as a developer, problem solvers, like they said, okay, now we can move on. And he was just with his hand on the head, like, can I say something? And he's like a smaller, tiny guy, almost looked like a kid. They were like, who the hell is this guy and what he is trying to tell us? Like, and it was actually the second meeting that went like that. He was just like, I'm out of this company. And so it kind of reminded me of those things, you know, like you need to agree with everybody, or there is also, I will add it in the description of the episode. There's a video called I'm an expert. I can do everything. When there's a guy, they told him that you can do something that it's not possible. And the CEO agrees, director of operations also, like, you're an expert, right? You can do everything. Okay, super, let's go to have lunch and to have nice time. And he was like, what the hell am I into?
Yeah, it's actually the whole Silicon Valley was created, if you look, you know, from the mistakes, from the systems that were rigorous, you know. The only constant thing is change, even with Corona or COVID, here we call it. So we don't know, is it going to be second, third, fourth, or how many waves of these things. What we know, it's changing. It's changing many industries, and change is the only constant thing. You know, when we stop changing ourselves, or you know, it's you feel like, okay, how much time do I have left? And is this all? You know, are they closing the show? So yeah, this is the bad market. Sometimes it's better to have no marketing than bad marketing. You know, it's at least you're not burning money.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that is saying like even bad marketing is good, even the bad PR is good. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, well, bad, yeah, can be in many ways. That's I never thought actually. You can look at the bad marketing also in this way, you know, how to be out of the plain vanilla. Yeah, but definitely, I thought it's more about, you know, what you do and what is delivering the value. I mean, it's if you look today, or especially on influencer marketing and social media and things, there's so many things that people are doing just to get that traction. Some of them are really not safe. You know, I have to hide sometimes my, you know, if I show my kids TikTok, you know, some of the things are really dangerous. I mean, if you put it just lightly that way, you know, what people are doing. But people are ready today for the 5 minutes of fame to do many things, and that's kind of the personal marketing that I also don't appreciate in that way. So maybe girls have more attributes for influencing. That's why 70% of girls are mostly influential marketing, but also men can add value in this field.
Yeah. So talking about changes and about marketing and sales. So can you tell us a few takeaways that you are seeing right now that are working for marketing, for sales, especially now when we are like in this COVID pandemic? It's not actually post-pandemic. We are still right in the middle of it.
In the middle, yes. Of course, I took the challenge to add value to one great company called HTEC Group. Their headquarters is Silicon Valley, but guys immigrated years ago from Serbia also, and then created quite a global company that is growing like crazy. Like 10x was reached in last 4 years. And for me, when they were talking, hey, do you know somebody in marketing that can help us and things? No, I was really not interested in. But I said, okay, what I'm interested in is how can I help you to go to the next 10x? So can we build another next 10x together? And what are the fields that we can work on? So this is, for example, for me, it's quite original project. and the speed how we are building up, it's amazing. So we opened, let's say, 6 countries in last two months. Actually, sometimes you need years to open markets, and we got this year on board more than 400 people, employed 200, acquired a company with 200 plus, and acquired one more that is going to be finishing probably this week. And it's just speed that is amazing, and putting the marketing on the right place. I would say marketing here, it's definitely not just in the department of marketing. That was, by the way, not even existing a few months ago. But it's part of the DNA. Entrepreneurship and marketing, it's part of the DNA of each employee, you know, with social media, with thinking of adding value. And what is the biggest difference that I see? We have the special model, so people are not paid by time. Nobody cares if you're 8 hours or 6 hours or 16 hours, you know, working on things, but only by added value. So what is your added value to the company, to the project, to the client? And they put, you know, what we have in marketing to be customer centric in a way, they put this in the middle of the whole company. So how can we add value to clients and future clients that we communicate? So this is quite amazing how the building of this kind of company and going fast forwards, it's bringing totally new adaptations, because also moving from entrepreneurial to managerial structure of the company is bringing a lot of challenges, but I think we will crack.
Yeah, especially when it's development. So there are a lot of people over there. When you talk about developers, those are like, you can imagine people with the headphones and just sitting in the corner and like coding things. But it's actually much more than you can uncover from those people. And they're actually good at their jobs and solving complex problems and unveiling all of that. And like just I found in development companies, just showing that to the world can bring you a lot of good. Like you have so many skilled people over there that have knowledge, and just like let's go over there, share them with the world, and start actually growing with using the things that we already have here with us, and it will bring us even more people who are kind of the similar.
Yeah, I'm just planning also to put in some education that will bring all potentially interested people in. So it's not only doing marketing and sales knowledge for biz dev and marketing department. Of course, we all have to improve our professional knowledge, but putting the knowledge about, let's say, marketing and customer-centric marketing, so customers, clients, relationship, branding, putting this in all departments, actually, that they can learn, hey, why do you exist? Why do we have jobs? You know, why do we have work to do? And learning, you know, this will bring us that in each department, even in the finance or accounting, you know, that we understand that what customers and our clients are looking for, and actually deliver the value that can be beyond expectations.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. And I guess it's kind of a nice challenge to take like all this like HTEC story and everything that's in enveloping. It's kind of nice thing to see what will happen in a way, and like having a 10x goal is something that I think every marketer or business developer is like willing to take. This is something that the reason that we work for, right? To have kind of big challenges and see if we are able to take them, or it will take us in another way. Like let's talk a little bit about what are some things that you have seen working, and some things that you will double down in the 2021, having in mind that we have no idea what will happen next year, and having in mind also the world that we are living in, which is fully digitalized. I mean, in Slovenia, you have the lockdown for how long now?
Ooh, we are locked down since March, I believe. Yeah, but with some breaks in between. Actually, they're promising to make 2 days break for Christmas, so we can go out.
Yeah, Corona will take a break.
Corona, take a break, have a Corona. Yeah. Actually, it's better than Kit Kat. Yeah. So to look at the what are the key things. What are the key things that I think would be important? I created actually a special philosophy called the Big Five. You know, when you go once to safari in South Africa, you know, you'll see, you always have to see the Big Five. And this was driving me, what are the 5 most important things that you would like to see, not on safari, but that you would like to deliver in the companies? And I created a special circle actually of things that is driving me when I'm building also the 10x model. So I'll start there. So first one, it's the global thing. So it's definitely, if you want to go global, you have to find your niche. You have to create as narrow as the, I would say, as the hashtag that somebody is getting popular. So it's so narrow that you want to break through. So how to go more global? And I use here example of Nassim Taleb theory and Black Swan, showing how to predict what will happen in the future and who will be running to create the future, we have to, of course, unlearn some of our past. So that's one of the first levels. On the second level, I look on the markets. So here on the markets, the plan is to open at least 10 new markets. But markets are not just the huge one. You cannot say, hey, my market is US or my market is China. You have to find your blue lagoons. You know, where are your safe, I wouldn't say safe, but let's say where you have edge to make a breakthrough, you know, that you react fastest and you get all these Fortune 500 companies, let's say, doing the safe thing. So we can do something that is unpredictable, something that's actually happening. And I'm explaining this also with the Kim Chan theory of value innovation, blue ocean. So if you look on the third level, then we get to the level of the company. So there are so many companies that we can, I'm just preparing an article also right now to compare Forbes, Fortune 500 with 500 unicorns. You know, is it enough to be big? You know, that if you look at the list, 52% of the Fortune 500 companies since 2000 are gone. And we are expecting that another 50% will be gone just in the next 10 years. So it's so fast that it's moving. So the speed and what we see, it's not enough to be big. Big will not eat the small. It's the fastest eating the small. And the speed is tremendous. It's multiplying in many, many dimensions. And then we look at the level of the product. You know, what's happening on the products. Also here, we plan to do the 10x on the building up the products that could be branded, that could be developed, marketing based on this. And on products, it's important to understand that you're not just producing something in the factory. That's way how to say, beyond. It's missing the main point. You know, what we would like to explain with the product. Product is not just we have stock, but in the factory we give example of Charles Revlon, for example. In factory they are making cosmetics, but in drugstores they're selling hope. They're selling to be always beautiful, to be always, you know, wanted, to be something. And the same company can have many brands, but it's important to differentiate them, to find the smallest possible denominator for their community. And on the fifth and the most important, you know, shift that I also want to deliver here, it's really personal. So on the personal level, I want to bring happiness, added value of the people that we have inside and the partners that we work with, so that we are one big happy family, how to say. And doing things with smiles on our faces will be easily pushing us to go further and to add value also to our clients and customers.
Yeah, I guess smiling more is one of the outcomes that we get out of this 2020. Like, then there's a life also outside business, and sometimes those two lives are kind of merging. I think as we move on, the line will be more blurred between two of them, and that's why, like, working on things we love, if we can, will be even more important. But also some of the things that we do outside of work, so the family, going out in nature, like in my case, riding a bike, Like all those kind of things will help us actually be better at work.
It's sometimes you can burn yourself, especially with startups. I mean, I remember we had to lock the door for in accelerators, to kick people out. They were begging, "Can I stay just 1 hour longer?" At midnight we said, "No, you're closing." And I can tell you there were people, and we were opening at 7, waiting in front of the door. "I want to go work." And nobody was counting hours. No, it's not about hours, but they were so passionate. They were so into it that in 3 months they could burn themselves like crazy. So we had to limit them also. But when you see this passion, that's something amazing. That was really driving me. And when you add marketing there, it's for me the great combo that is bringing passion with both fields of entrepreneurship and marketing and bringing success.
Yeah, nicely said. Nicely said. That's why I always like to have at least one startup within the companies we're working with Funky Marketing, just to get into the dirt and get that passion and everything. And so everybody from the company can have that experience. And so we're kind of reaching the end. So what actually is Funky Marketing for you? That's kind of always interesting to find out, because a lot of people are having different kind of definitions of it.
So I'll give you one example, and that can bring some parallels actually to this. So there's when you buy drinks, you expect to feel the drink, right? So it's water, it's Coke, it's something. It's not commercial, but still, it's beer or good wine. But there's one company that created a very different drinks. You can taste drink of Christmas dinner. So you don't imagine how the Christmas dinner drink should feel like. I mean, I'm not saying that it should be so tasty, but they sold millions of bottles of people looking just to taste, hey, what is the taste of Christmas dinner in a bottle? So bringing the differentiation at such a strong position, that there's nothing more original than this on the shelf. So for me, Funky Marketing is music for my ears. That really is bringing this differentiation leverage to any company working with, and you do it with funky style and the smile.
Nice. I love that funky style and the smile. It even rhymes. Cool, Niko. Thank you very much for this. I think we started a lot of topics, shared a lot of perspectives, and I'll be happy if you can come back in the next episodes and go deeper on some of the topics and really unveil more of your knowledge and experience.
Thank you, Nemanja. It was a great pleasure to talk with you, to chat. And of course, there's so many war stories that if somebody can learn from mistakes or successes, will cut people costs on long term.
Yeah, so just tell the audience where they can find you, get into conversation, engagement, and share a lot of different things.
Niko Slavnic, Google knows more than me. But if you really search for the page, it's www.nikoslavnic.com, or of course all the social media that you can find me, and also HTECgroup.com. That's on the leadership position there, but it's more important that we can find some good solutions and ideas that can fly.
Perfectly said. Thank you one more time, and guys, see you online.
See you. Bye.